Hello everyone, I'm Katrin Knutzen from Ilmenau University of Technology in Germany, and today I'm excited to share our research on a classroom management training activity in social VR for teacher trainers. Let me start with the problem that we're trying to solve. Disruptive behavior in classrooms is a reality that impairs teaching, and teachers need strong classroom management skills. But the challenge is that practical training opportunities are rather limited in traditional programs. That's why most teacher training relies on theoretical knowledge and brief observations only, leaving new teachers often unprepared for real classroom situations. Also, existing VR training systems are often inaccessible due to high costs and their technical complexity, which makes them impractical for widespread use in teacher education programs. And this is where social VR offers a unique solution, because it provides a safe, controlled, and immersive environment in which future teachers can practice their classroom management skills on the one hand. On the other hand, in a web-based format, it's also much more accessible and provides low threshold access. So our approach focuses on creating authentic interactions through spatial audio, natural gestures, and head orientation tracking. And our system uses narrative scenarios that enable repeated practice of classroom management techniques. And we have designed a cross-device setup that supports both presence and accessibility, because the virtual classroom allows multiple participants to join from different devices, so that the teacher training students can practice in VR while the instructors and observer students can participate from computers or other devices. And our learning approach is iterative, because students practice their classroom management skills through the repeated VR sessions and also reflect on their pedagogy, receiving feedback inside the VR room from their instructors. And this combination of both the immersive practice and the reflective analysis creates a powerful learning environment. Now, how do we implement this? We've created a first VR scenario that targets typical classroom disruptions that teachers face daily, and our system runs on Meta Quest 3 headsets and the social VR platform Hubs, previously known as Mozilla Hubs, which provides cross-device accessibility without the need for expensive specialized equipment. And our interactions so far are intentionally simple but effective, because we use eye contact via head rotation, proximity management, and verbal cues, because these are fundamental in classroom management and teachers use them constantly. Overall, we've created a realistic environment that feels familiar to anyone who's been to an elementary school before, and currently we are planning a user study to systematically assess both presence and the actual learning outcomes. So looking ahead, we have several directions for our work. First and most importantly, we're conducting the empirical evaluation to measure the actual impact of our VR training on the classroom management skills, because we want to prove that this is not just an engaging technology, but genuinely effective education. And we're also working on expanding our input modalities and, of course, also the scenarios. This means adding more types of interactions and also creating scenarios, for instance, for different educational contexts, from elementary schools to universities. And finally, we're developing support for adaptive teaching competencies, which allows the system to personalize training based on individual teacher needs and progress. So to conclude, we're developing a VR system that addresses a critical gap in teacher education, because we are providing a safe, immersive, and repeatable practice opportunity for classroom management skills. And we are helping prepare teachers for one of the most challenging responsibilities. And that combination of realistic virtual environment, effective interactions, and cross-device accessibility makes this system particularly practical for real-world implementation in teacher training programs. And that is all from my side for today. I thank you for your attention. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about our VR classroom management system. I thank you very much.